What's up? Good? I don't hear it. Hear it? Good? Pick Central on a Thursday, August 24th.
I forgot it was just Thursday.
August 24th. Everybody back in town. Marty, Ev, Smitty, Clemmer. Brought to you by our friends at Omaha Steaks. Labor Day is right around the corner, and the experts at Omaha Steaks are inviting you to celebrate summer's last hurrah with 50% off site-wide during their Labor Day sale. Dukes, you're new. Is this a typo? 50% off?
50%
off.
That's unbelievable.
Go to omahasteaks.com and enter PICS, P-I-C-K-S, in the search bar to shop all the exclusive Labor Day packages, like the Griller's Labor Day Feast. This package is the perfect sampling of everything that makes Omaha Steaks unforgettable. Plus, when you type PICS in the search bar, you'll get 8 free mouth-watering burgers and 8 free gourmet jumbo franks with your order. You're going to want to hurry because this exclusive offer is only available for a limited time. Celebrate summer's last hurrah with 50% off site-wide during the Omaha Steaks Labor Day sale. Remember, the only way to get this amazing deal is head over to omahasteaks.com and enter PICS in the search bar to shop the Labor Day sale and get 8 Omaha Steak burgers and 8 gourmet jumbo franks free with select packages, including that special Griller's Labor Day Feast. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak, it's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. That's omahasteaks.com, keyword PICS in the search bar. Yeah, do the math in your head of what you would be paying for a barbecue on Labor Day.
That's a steal.
And
Insane.
holy
50%.
shit.
Code PICS.
50% plus
Code
the 8
PICS.
burgers and the 8 dogs. We love Omaha Steaks. You had the steak the day you won, right?
Yeah, it was so
It was grilled. Yeah, it's quality
My dad's
stuff.
bought them forever.
They package it.
Forever.
It's
My whole life.
Delicious.
It's unbelievable what they do. So
Did you not introduce Clemmer?
did I not?
I don't hear you.
Not off.
What did I say? I thought I went around.
I don't know.
I think I did.
Oh, I didn't hear. I
Oh.
couldn't hear Clemmer.
Camera's secondary if they could hear you. Turn my mic on.
Try now.
What
No.
the fuck?
All right. I'll wait. I'll wait till everyone's paying attention.
Behind the glass goes, what the fuck?
I'll wait.
No.
Dukes is back. Shit goes awry.
Should I sit next to him? Oh, there we go. All right, here we go.
Ooh.
Hey, I am here.
Oh, and the balls.
So last night.
Yeah, let's touch on that real quick. So, go ahead. We got to set the stage. I got to set the stage.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was
I
talking.
got to set the stage. You're not taking it.
Insane.
Wait, 3 passes before you take a shot. Old school offense here. 3 passes. All right, last night
If you're gonna quote Norman Dale, do it right. 4.
I had to
4
drive.
passes.
he was outdated. I
drove
like
to
fast
Boston
pace.
yesterday, and then I had to drive Rhea to the airport by 4 a.m. to get a flight, and I had to drive Balls home last night, and he was snoring the entire way home. His neck just bad, and I'm like so tired trying to keep my eyes open. I see Balls just going like this.
You were Glenn, so you were Glenny Balls' chauffeur.
Yes, dropped off at his house. He wasn't as bad as a snorer that I thought he was gonna be, but
No hat for Big Ev.
Fresh baldy, bro.
is that what they talk about back there?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Clean
They
baldy,
criticize.
brother.
They criticize.
Going for
But,
the
yeah, last night I thought was great. There was an energy of, like, we were all going to get whacked, and he's going to just abuse you left and right.
Well, your quote was phenomenally accurate going in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
like we're all
like, I just-
knowingly
yeah,
boarding the
he was gonna,
Titanic.
yeah, not that it was it was just he was going to drown us all. Like there was that vibe. He said it, and once he said it about KFC's thing too, it was like, uh-oh, the brakes are like the guardrails are off here. We're going to get killed. But it really was. It was very funny. There was a celebration. You were making fun of a lot of different people. R.A. Fallen, kind of hysterical. White Sox Dave Fallen, hysterical. Nate went off the rails. Francis, very funny.
I mean,
And then a lot of sentimental stuff.
It's an understatement that
I think you
went
could-
off the rails.
I could be wrong. You might be able to still like buy it, which 40,000 people did, which was awesome. That's why the Steelers are the best. But like, off the rails again is not even close.
The fact that Nate cut jokes from that monologue, like still
left one
kept
in. Just say left one. Just say left one.
Left-
say left one.
left a couple in, especially one of our friend from Mississippi. Wild.
Stunning.
Oh, stunning.
But like the first,
See,
I thought both about
I thought
Mississippi
that-
were towing the line.
line. There was no line.
There was no way. Yeah, you
no
can say the
line.
entire monologue was crossing the line.
I thought
It was
the Brandon
amazing.
Nate was more tame, to be honest, than some of the other stuff he said. To be honest
Some
with
of the
you,
other stuff.
Me too. I'm with you.
that was that was like last time
I
listened to
agree.
what he said.
Also, it's funny. Like Smitty and Nate got the award, and Smitty didn't know what the fuck was going on because Nate didn't tell him, and they're just on stage, and you're like, and he just went off after that.
Yeah, I've been around Nate long enough to know that he's got something in his mind, and he told me nothing about it before. And once we got on stage, I was like, "Do you want to talk?" And he just gave me a look. I'm like, "Okay." I thought he was going to go in on me, to be honest with you.
The fact that he he did a great job. Like it was a great roast. I will give him that. But the fact that guy just fell on his face in this crowd
Immediately after.
immediately after to ruin his vibe of after, because he's fine now, so we can make fun of it. But the fact that we thought this guy just died in the crowd was what the fuck is going on?
It was a very bizarre 10-minute sequence. After so Smitty saw Nate's reaction. Smitty then walks back to his seat, and he was sitting near me. And I was like, that was the smartest thing you've ever done, was leave that stage.
I was out.
yeah.
I was like,
That
"You want
would've-
this,
yeah.
Nate? Go."
Yeah. But
And then he just went rogue. Like he was cut and he went up there. He's like, that 5 minutes I was supposed to do, I'm doing it now.
Pulls on his mask, and then off Nate went.
That was 10 years of Nate just saying exactly what he wanted to say.
It was amazing though, and it was hysterical. It was brilliant.
nuts.
He didn't hold back on
Anything.
big
Oh,
hitters.
yeah,
He's
no one was safe.
after
No.
most of the big hitters, actually.
Yeah.
That was really who he. Yeah, that was who he came at the most.
Mostly big
And
hitters.
Dave was laughing through all of it.
Who was the worst dressed?
I don't think
Yeah,
anybody.
there was an award given out.
Anyway, it has to be
Yeah.
Big F.
Yeah.
And Big F was good, well dressed though.
I wouldn't even see. I
weren't drunk.
was the only one that didn't wear a jacket.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say names. There were shorts in the building. I wore pants.
Say what you said before the show. That was very funny about where you were stationed.
What do you, oh, just in the fat pen?
you were saying, maybe he'll just look at me and take pity on me because he put me on the fat pen and that's mean enough.
Well, he didn't even. Well, I forgot I said that. Yeah, he didn't. Well, he didn't even do that. I guess.
Two things. The fat pen
He blamed her on Penn.
is crazy, but the chairs looked very comfortable.
That was my. I said when I saw the chairs, I had that Alonzo Mourning meme moment that I was like, table, and I was like, that's a nice chair. I hate sitting
bad.
in
funniest part
Had
about
chairs
the
for 3
fat
hours.
pen was when Frank got in it. He started yelling out every other fat person's name at the company. Like, where's this person? Where's this person?
That's what I said.
It
I
was
was like,
so fucking
because
funny.
when I saw the seating chart, I was like, listen, I'm not going to say names. There's quite a few other people in this room that fit the criteria that are not in this room. I was like, I said, and then Frank starts yelling out.
How many guys were in there with you? It was you,
just
Frank,
me, Glennie, and the
and
ten.
Glennie. Yeah.
Well, it basically was It was initially me and Glennie on the mural. That's where it started. And me and Glennie sat next to each other in the old desks.
Okay.
And he said it to the HBO people. It was a coincidence where everyone in our row was gone. It was just me and Glennie sitting there. And then he got put on the mural as well, the old mural that was here.
So I don't have a NBA team. I'm a 76ers fan now. Just letting you know.
I love Pat Bev, but
Pat
That was
Bev?
great.
So you were
A's was great.
not a Knicks guy?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
he hasn't really cared about the Knicks ever.
But Pat Bev, I don't think I have no friends at all that would ever do what he does for Roan. He loves Roan. Every time Roan started to sing, he just and he's the nicest guy in the fucking.
He is a very
world.
nice
It's
guy.
insane. And I'm going to a Sixers game. He's like, you're coming.
I love that he was doing the old the NBA players when they did a dunk contest.
Yeah.
He was running when Rowan would sing. He was running up with the camera right up to the screen like a
It
proud
was
mom.
he's the
Go
best.
honey, you're great.
He's the best friend of all time.
He's the best hype man ever, best friend. He's
Oh,
really good
worst
dude.
dressed. Tommy Smokes.
Oh, with the top hat.
Oh,
The
Oh, he
top
got in
hat.
trouble. He got in trouble.
Yeah, the top
He?
hat was
Yeah.
mockery, but
Dave said he's making a mockery of the event.
mockery.
Oh no.
Pat Bev also cutting off Nate, being like, chill,
He just kept being like, relax,
chill, relax.
relax.
That was awesome.
Yeah, but
He'll be
a
more-
lot of sentimental stuff too. As much as we say it, first off, the ending, the King Richard's Fair video, you knew was probably gonna win. It's folklore here, but to see that too, the three of them on stage, that video blowing up, and the three of them again now, growing up as a fan, and looking to be like, wow, I'm part of this company. That was really awesome to see the three of them, and that side-by-side image, top and bottom, of King Richard's Fair and the three of them together. It's like 20 years. I don't know. It's weird. Everywhere else, it feels like a story like this would get celebrated, and for whatever reason, people are always rooting for the downfall, and we're still here 20 years later. So it is really, really great to see, and especially us all growing up as fans and getting in. And then Frank's speech really stole the night. A guy like that who, like he said, I settled as a clerk, but he really never gave up his dream and works his ass off while he's here. Super entertaining. Has a great purpose. Gets to do cool stuff. He's got Francesa meeting him, like every pro athlete. Can I meet Frank? And that's what this place is about. Yeah, random hire off of a Subway rant. He's lucky he got on the news. Right place, right time. And that's what this place is.
So inspiring.
Yeah, and again, like to Dave's point, it's the first time ever that every person in the company and talent was in the same building in one room.
Yeah.
It's unheard of. Even, the company party, somebody you got to miss. I'm doing a video, this, that.
Trivia, yeah.
Truthfully, like Golden Globes type feel walking in and looking around the tables. Awesome.
Being a part of it was like, I was sitting there at one point, I said, it's weird that I'm here.
Wild. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Special
like,
guests, the inside jokes.
I
Like,
appreciate it a lot especially when you see Big Cat cried. Riggs cried
That was so
at the
funny.
crying thing. I thought he was being like putting on like a great acting performance at first. I was like, wow, this is a good idea.
He's a crier.
He's just a crier. But yeah, it was
awesome night.
very nice.
Really, really
It's
awesome
the Dick
night.
Vermeil of Barstool.
What? Yeah. All right, Shohei Otani. UCL tear? UCLL?
Yes.
There, yeah.
Sunzo.
Second time, same arm
Yes.
in his career.
Correct.
How gun shy are teams now to pay him? How gun shy are the Angels to pay him? Will he get a massive deal from the Mets? When's he back?
Well, he won't be able to pitch next year, but he will be able to hit.
So wait, that's a really I like the teams pay him the $600 million now?
Well, I
don't know.
There's a lot to go over.
There's a lot to go over, and
It's the second one. He's 30 next year. Yeah, I mean, unpack it however you want.
And
There's
even
a
if he
lot of
comes
layers.
back next year to hit, I mean, Bryce Harper had the same injury last year, had the surgery after the season,
Right.
and miraculously came back in May. Like, that was unheard of. Otani's probably going to be out at least for half the year next year.
I wouldn't say quite that far, but right, he might miss time. Now, the issue, the long-term deal, you're not buying it for 1 year. You're signing him for 12 years. It's not for 1 year. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah, but are you paying him for both services when there's an actual question of whether he's going to pitch again?
so he will pitch again. He has a career ERA of 3.02. He's gonna pitch again. He likes to pitch. He's going to pitch.
Who you would know best? Who has gone through Tommy John twice and has been dominant after? Has there been a person?
I honestly, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now, but there are guys. Now, three times is when you go like, I don't know if that can happen. But
I mean, if he did it twice in 3-4 years.
so I guess the question is, he's definitely going to pitch again. I'm sure we can all at least acknowledge that.
I don't know.
You don't think he's ever going to pitch again?
I don't know.
If you were the GM,
could ruin his career.
wouldn't you would evaluate that first off? He's a unicorn, so the pitching to me is a bonus. Like, what do you think he's better at, pitching or hitting?
Hitting.
Okay, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, I was hoping you said that.
Plus, he was like a Gold
If you got
Glove
him as
worthy outfielder.
If you got him as a great pitcher, if you got him as a great hitter, the pitching is a bonus. If they take that away and you don't want to risk it, you're just like, all right, you know what? I don't have the guy who could play, the guy who could pitch and hit, which hasn't existed since Babe Ruth anyway. It's like, what's the fucking point?
Well,
protect his hitting and save some of it.
If he can't pitch, I'm not giving him $600 million. I'm not giving him $500 million.
That's the question.
Oh well, but that's without a doubt. The reason he's going to get $600 million is because he's a unicorn. I
Right.
think that's
So, I mean,
universally
I
accepted.
think that's out the window. I'm saying not pitch again, but that big a contract. But see,
don't know
that's
if
not
it
to
is.
say.
I don't know, dude. If he was
But
on the Mets, I
that's-
wouldn't even want him.
Takes one team.
I'd
But
be
that,
like,
no, you're right. You're absolutely
one's
right.
giving him
But that's not to say.
I don't know about that, Marty. One team.
That's not to say
All you need.
300-400 isn't still on the table. That's cause,
Oh, that's definitely going to happen.
I'm saying because just as a hitter, he's a $300 million
Yes.
guy. So like, he's gonna get big money regardless. I agree with you. I think I'd be shocked if he never pitched again. But I wouldn't be shocked if in like I don't know that he doesn't pitch a ton more.
Yeah, I mean,
That would've
would
totally
you
shocked me.
make him into kind of like a little league player? Just put him out there as DH or right field every night, and then if you just need somebody to come in at the end of the game and close once a week.
I think that would hurt his arm more. I think you need to be on a regular
he needs
schedule.
the rest, I would think. But
Yeah, so like I think now the question isn't is he going to pitch again or not, because he's going to pitch again. He has 3.02 ERA.
I think that's still.
Let's assume I'm right.
Why are you so
The
confident?
teams are going
Because
to make the
he is an
call.
elite
He's not
pitcher.
making the call.
100%.
He's going to go. Actually, you're wrong, Rico.
Yeah,
He is
he's
making the call because he's a free agent. He's going to go somewhere where they promise him he can pitch. Now, the question isn't is he going to pitch again. The question is can he be still a very good / great pitcher.
Cy Young worthy.
And that's a question that I don't have an answer to.
Yeah.
So it's a risk. So if you sign him to a $500 million deal, are you getting a guy who has a 4.5 ERA? And if that's the case, like you guys said, is it worth it if he pitches?
well, that's the question I was going to pose to you, Clive. I was going to say if he comes back and he's an average pitcher, would you prefer him to just hit?
I think so.
100%.
That's how I feel. I would agree.
It depends on the team too. If a team that has like really shitty starting pitching, then that's valuable. If it's a team, if like the Phillies, who already have 5-6 good pitchers, just hit.
The
Sean.
way you're saying that, what I'm thinking when you're saying he's definitely going to pitch again, him pitching is taking him out of the fact that he can hit 60 home runs this year now. Like, why keep risking him going out on the mound when you'd rather him one place than no places?
That's a fair. It's a
So
fair
it's
point.
like-
But to Rico's point, where like he's right, the team does decide.
Right.
This is the one case where Shohei actually has the chips now.
100% he does, but it's also teams are going to tell him, like, listen, you guys mics are on in the back. It's so interesting now, which I'm pissed at. Obviously, it sucks it happened because I wanted to see what that contract was. Also, Trout's hurt again after one day.
Yeah, he's
Same day. There was one tweet that said it all. It was like Shohei has torn UCL and Trout's going back in the IL. I'm like, this is the worst tweet ever.
Well, Trout, he's chronic back problems. I mean, that's
Yeah, but he was on the.
That's the
He
beginning
got
of the end
reinstated
already.
one day. It's like
But I just
I don't know, the
think
Otani
back
thing-
injuries.
Look at Trout's games played the last like 3-4 years. He can't stay healthy over full season.
Did DeGrom have to?
He just had a second.
He just had a second. Okay.
So we'll see where he lies.
And he won't pitch next year either. So we're not going to know about him until 2025.
There's a couple pitchers that have had 2 Tommy Johns. It says Nathan Eovaldi had
Yep.
2.
Okay.
Okay.
Daniel Hudson, Jamison Talion.
Well, Tyon.
Tyon, yeah.
So Hudson's an example of when it goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
Tyon's an example of you come back and you're okay, you're good.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry,
This is Evaldi's best year.
Eovaldi is the ideal.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Those the only 3 you got?
That's what it came up. I think those are more recent guys. You want me to go history-wise? Because I think there was an article that was published after DeGrom had his second. First paragraph. They were talking about John
Why
Axford,
did you do
Kirby Yates, Todd Coffey, Matt Bush.
Yeah, so those guys are all, if people aren't super huge baseball fans, those guys are all relievers, kind of guys that you would never give a large contract to, even at their best.
Does he hit next year? Does he like?
Yes.
Does that affect
him?
Like,
Well, it affected
it's-
Harper for a little while.
It's exactly what Smitty was saying. about
Harper's
Harper.
power's just coming back now.
Power will be the last thing to come
3
out.
home runs in 3 games.
yeah, but but Harper probably came back quicker because he just has to hit. Like it's all like. Does he?
Yeah.
Does
Well, that's all
he wait
Shohei's going to do
longer?
next year.
Yeah, you just come
He
and
wouldn't play the
be a
field at all.
DH.
Shohei will only be a
That is-
DH next year.
That's crazy.
He will not pitch. He will not play the field next year.
But I'll tell you what.
But he might hit 60.
He's a hell of a fucking
Right.
DH to have.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
And like if you're jammed up, you
But maybe
blow-
though, you
go
don't know
play
how
right
it's-
field every once in a while.
Well, he can't play the outfield next year, but beyond that,
He can't play it at all.
He will not play the outfield
All
next
right,
year
all
because
right.
I don't want to have him use that arm.
Yeah, that makes
right.
sense. That makes sense.
I honestly, if I'm the team, I don't even have him fucking stealing bases next year. I'm like, I don't want you to fucking do anything to that arm, that elbow, that
Go
shoulder.
base to base.
Yeah, just go true
Yup,
DH.
Station to station, baby.
Think they'll get a runner? Get a runner for him?
Yeah, he's so
Bring in the
fast.
old
though.
man
Fast,
softball. I'm
so-
just saying.
Lead in the league in
Old man
triples.
softballs. Bring him in. Fucking, we don't want him to get hurt.
How old is he? 28?
He's going to be 30 next year, I think.
29, right? So he's
Yeah,
30,
I think he's going to be 30. So you start looking at that too. Like, what's his prime? 6 years? I know he's a unicorn, but like,
Well, if he keeps getting
are guys really lighting it up at 36, 37 in Major League Baseball?
Not without steroids.
I mean, some guys are, but you're right, Rico. I mean, look at the Yankees
Let's
roster.
pull up, Dukes, pull up like the leaders in hits, RBIs, and home runs on their age, and let's compare their age. Like, is there anybody post
That's way too hard for Dukes.
35 really? I think it says it in one
It's
column.
gonna-
That's
If you
not
look at
above my
Baseball
pay grade.
Reference.
Barry Bonds.
stats.
Well, I mean,
No, just this year. I'm saying just this year.
At age 29?
Honestly, you want to.
what is he? Yeah, older guys.
No, just the general. Get general stats, and we'll start to see the older guys. There should be a column of age.
Bo Bichette's led the American League in hits the last 3 years, right? He's 25.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so it is a young man's game. And I mean, there are exceptions, of course. There are guys that are, Nolan Arenado's in his mid-30s. He's still hitting pretty well.
What's
Paul Goldschmidt?
He's probably about the same,
Goldschmidt
like
was MVP
34, 35-ish.
I mean, so there are guys, but then look at Jose Abreu this year. He got old overnight, and now it
Right.
just fucking went.
Bosco, which stat do you want first? Home runs?
Yeah. Well, if you have it in a graphic, and you pull it up, but it is what it is. Yeah. What do you got? Home run. No, I wanted.
No,
to
I get what you're saying.
I wanted to
I
see
can't-
one thing across where
No,
it's
I know.
like.
I don't have control over that. But we got Otani, Olsen, Alonso, Betts, Schwarber for home runs.
So right. So what's Olsen's?
None of those guys at 35.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, Olsen's young.
Booze,
Alonso's
I just
young.
sent you a picture. When we're done, we're talking about Barry Bonds. I saw a stat today that who's been better at this time of his age and career as Barry Bonds, and it's insane how much better this person's playing. And I feel like he doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah,
playing right
I saw the same stat, but Bonds' stats like when he was 32 and up.
100%.
Bonds' stats when he was a
But-
Pittsburgh Pirate are insane, though.
Yeah, Bonds would have been a Hall of Famer
Also,
without
in
the
a
steroids
pitcher's era.
Star.
before 35.
It was
Oh,
weird.
absolutely.
I'm just saying that when I saw the stat, and I was like, and obviously this person, everyone knows he's a good player, but like, I just feel like he doesn't get talked about too much.
Mookie Betts. Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
So who's the player?
Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Where? How do you know that? I thought it was a guess the graphic. Oh, Mookie Betts.
It
Okay.
says
All right, I got
Mookie
it.
It
Betts.
says at the top.
What's going on today?
It was a
Little fun on a Thursday. I see. It's Mookie Betts. All right, let's take a look.
Mookie Betts,
So this is through 1,200 games.
is he the most underappreciated
Jesus
superstar?
That's what
in the
I'm
league?
talking about. Like,
Hall of Famer.
dude, you don't realize how fucking good he is.
He's incredible.
We
So the
know he's
home
good,
home
but
runs
not
he's
that
got him
good.
by a little bit. RBI's got him by a little bit. Runs and hits he's got him by a lot.
Yeah, dude.
But let's also factor in when they played. Barry Bonds played in a pitcher's era. From 87 his rookie year, 86 rookie year, till 92, pitchers dominated. It was very hard to put up big stats.
Greg
But
Maddux,
still, it's just like,
Pedro.
and that's the thing you can't.
Pedro's a little.
Hater was later. No, just
You're talking Jack Morris.
no. I'm talking. Just look at the stat. Like teams just didn't have a lot of hits. And then you have the steroids. You have some people think it was a juice ball. In '93, everything changed.
But you just
Clever.
you just look at that stats, and it's like Mookie Betts is fucking
Mookie Betts is a Hall of Famer.
so good, and it's not he. Sometimes you don't even think about him as being a top 5 player.
The Red Sox traded him for Alex Verdugo.
Who?
Think about that. Yeah, Alex Verdugo. That was the trade. It was Connor Wong, Jeter Downs, both out of the system, and Alex Verdugo for Mookie Betts.
Yeah, well, I mean, they weren't going to pay Mookie.
I don't care. Then why not? That's the other question.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And I know people say, oh, the Dodgers had to take David Price's contract. Who fucking you got Mookie Betts?
Yeah. Well, what was the rationale that the Dodgers were not going to pay Betts?
No, the other way around.
I'm sorry. That the Red Sox were not going to pay.
That's a hell of a question, Rico.
Like when you're evaluating your talent, isn't that a major red flag if you're a Red Sox fan now?
There was 1 year. I didn't agree with the decision, but I'm pretty sure that in 1 year, top 5 AL MVP, it was Bogarts, Devers, and Betts. So you're thinking you have to pay 2 of the 3, and at the time with the salary cap, Dombrowski is one of those guys that blows all the salary cap to win a World Series, and you had to get rid of one of them, and at the time it had to be Betts.
It was Chaim Bloom's first move as a GM.
Yeah,
Like you say
okay.
Dombrowski
Yeah,
just
like
got
Dombrowski fucked them though.
Yeah.
you want a World Series.
No,
for
I
now.
but I'm all in for the you blow the salary cap.
You had to try. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, I know. It's as of right now.
I get his point
But
though.
you know what I mean?
It does seem like
When you
Betts
get to
is-
5, he's not talked about completely. Bryce, there's a lot.
I put Mookie Betts is a better player than Bryce Harper.
Because he's playing the field.
He's also just
Obviously, he's a damn good outfielder.
a hell of a hitter too. And so is Bryce Harper. And Bryce Harper's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm not no slander. I just think that highly of Mookie Betts.
DJ Crone.
Bryce Harper last night he's so fucking cool.
He's so clutch.
So clutch.
Well, Aaron Judge too.
He ended up losing the game,
Said
but he's
Judge,
so
yeah,
clutch.
yeah.
He's so clutch.
He's
He had 3
awesome.
home runs yesterday.
He's
Yeah,
like
but-
everything. He's everything you want in an athlete in any city.
Oh, I love that man. I love him.
But what was the rationale or what was the temperature of him leaving Washington? Did they love him as much as you guys love him? Didn't it seem like that was a little bit of a messy
I don't think he loved Washington as much as Washington.
I thought it
loved
was
him.
getting spun that he was like not the best.
And
they won the
him
World
and
Series.
Papelbon went at it.
They win the World Series right after he leaves.
There's a little muck going around, but they weren't going to pay him. So I think it was just kind of, hey, go on your way sort of thing.
No one's a Nationals fan anyway.
Fair enough. But
Oh, I have them on mentions. I said they were going to lose 100 games this year, and they're still very upset about that.
Arya is.
No, he's not. He knows he's not.
PFT, I think.
Nate.
No, they're all like that's like because they like might as well. You
Nate's
know?
a Nationals fan.
They're all Commanders fans, and they're like I guess we'll take the Nationals.
It's in the state. That's not really a state, but
It's not a state, which is it's insane.
What is
It's
it?
like its
What
own
is it,
little
Mark?
thing, though.
District.
There you go.
District of Columbia.
Yeah, boy.
Because I've studied this one because it pisses me off.
it's crazy.
You think they should have electoral votes, Rico?
If they count them correctly.
Did you watch Tucker Carlson yesterday? Were you a Tucker Carlson watcher yesterday?
I did not.
He had it propped up on his phone at the table at the
5
awards.
minutes before some other big thing was happening, huh?
Was he on?
I guess you're not as big of a Red Hat fan as I thought.
I told you. I read the newspaper the next day, and people tell me what's going on. I don't watch the live
too,
games.
that's why I don't give-
A lot of time, I don't watch the live games. I don't break down the tape. I just know the headlines. They tell me what to say. I'm a puppet. Yankees won last night. Judge hits 3 home runs. I saw this scroll by yesterday in the hotel. When was the last time the Yankees lost 10 in a row?
1964.
Okay. Ev already got the
I heard
stat.
it, so I
Smitty
can't-
got the stat.
I saw it already.
1913.
1913.
Now, to Smitty's point, he's like, that should be a once-in-a-generational thing. Like, you shouldn't go a lot of losing 10 in a row, but I don't know, 100 fucking years?
It's a long time. That's a long time.
Long
Still,
time.
baseball is like
They've had some
shouldn't-
bad runs, like, before, coming out of before the Steinbrenner, like, boom in the 90s. They were bad in the 80s,
Yeah,
right?
89, 90, 91, they would lose 90 games regularly.
They would, right?
And
Yeah.
also like 65, 66, 67, they were not a good team. 68.
Losing 10.
Yeah, but then they win 10 World Series before and like 4 after. That's
Right. Well, but yeah, they won. Right, they won a bunch before, and they won obviously ones in the 70s. But it's not like they were perfect every year. So the idea that 1913, and you could even have a good year and lose 10 in a row. I mean, it can happen.
Let me ask you this, because it translates to Yankees, and it's not a Yankee hate type of thing. Should there be a stat in sports that is almost like a sabermetric or justifies how long you've been in leagues, right? So the Yankees championships, all those ones when they won early, like, can we factor that? But also, Yankees championships per season would average out way lower because they've been in the league.
What the fuck?
Hold on.
I know what you're saying.
I understand.
Hold on,
what you're
I'll
doing.
get there.
I
I'll
think
get
you're gonna
there.
be wrong, but
You're wrong.
continue.
I like what you're.
How could I
You'd
be
be on
wrong?
pace to win one every like 4 years, which has got to be better than almost any other. As
Correct.
way better than any other team.
That's correct.
With 27,
Yep. 20. So they got in the league in 1901 or 1903, depending how you look
that's
at it.
one every 5 years essentially.
Right. That is still better than
There's
everybody
no
else.
way anyone's top. Like even
Because who else is up there? Cardinals. They were in the league in 1876, so they were even further back than the Yankees.
What do they have? They have like 10 or something like that.
They have 9 or 10?
9 or 10.
The Red Sox have 9, right? And they were in the league the same year as the Yankees.
27.
The Marlins have 2 in 30
27
years.
against when it was how many teams though?
16. A lot of that time.
I don't know.
Hey, that's why you can
Well,
sleep.
even-
I
that's
look
why
at
you
like
can
the
sleep
Florida
good at
Marlins.
night.
Like, so the Florida Marlins are what? 2 out of
Head on that
30.
pillow,
30
Smitty.
now? Like,
But they also had to play with more
My
teams,
head
to your
on
point.
that pillow, Smitty. I
Yeah,
sleep
yeah,
good
yeah.
being a Yankees fan.
I guess you're right. I guess it
Even-
doesn't.
'cause
It
even-
doesn't work out for.
Oh, they're that dominant.
Because people even try to make the argument, oh, like pre and post, like integration. But we've won more than half of them, like post integration.
Yeah, you won 5 in a row post integration.
Like most of them have still been like in the like modern-ish.
No,
if you will.
I think the Yankees run from 96 to 2000 is one of the most underrated, still not talked about.
Oh yeah.
It's talked about.
It is, but
It's because no one
I think
wants to suck the Yankees, so it doesn't. It gets talked about. I know what for.
I think that will never be repeated ever again.
Oh, I know. No, things get. I hate never again.
Winning 4 or 5 is pretty.
Nobody's touching
In
Cal Ripken.
baseball, winning
Sure.
that much in a row.
No one said, but then no one said that would ever happen again. Like, oh, is everyone ever going to win 3 in a row
Nobody's
again?
hitting. I don't think anybody's hitting DiMaggio. I don't think anybody's hitting Cal
No one's
Ripken.
ever gonna get Wayne Gretzky's points ever.
Yeah.
That's just
Games
a fact.
change, things change.
No,
Never say
Wayne
never.
Gretzky's never gonna. It's
Cy,
never gonna happen.
Cy Young's wins. You need to win
5-11.
25 games for 25 years.
You
and
can say
you're still
never
11.
a lot.
I'll tell you what's.
Nobody's ever doing that again.
I'll tell you what's in play.
Never say never.
We'll end on it. I think Wilt Chamberlain's 100 is definitely in play. Somebody gets hot, takes 45 threes in a game.
I agree.
100's definitely
Definitely in play.
What they get? 80?
Yeah, it's
last?
definitely in play.
Yeah, they could definitely.
We've had a couple guys score 70. Like Booker scored 70.
I mean, if Klay Thompson can put up 40 and a quarter,
It's definitely in
Yes,
play. It's
right.
definitely in play.
I got a crazy stat line for you.
Give us that quick. We
Buster
gotta
Posey
guess.
caught 1,100 games. How many pass balls did he allow?
6.
Nope.
4.
27.
Wow.
Salvador Perez after him. 1,032. 30 pass balls.
yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Kind of a yeah.
If it was like 2, I think I'd be more impressed.
27
30?
pass balls in
I was gonna say
1,100
it's
games,
low,
Smitty? Are
but
you
it was
kidding
low.
me?
7. I thought it was gonna be like 8.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I want to
Very good. He's a great.
you oversold
said-
it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like Joey Votto having 10,000 at-bats and only popping out to first base once.
So we're looking for segments.
Still
I
crazy.
like that. Colin Cooper's wow or not stat of the day. Like, do we go, oh, wow, that one he failed. You're 0 for 1. Let's just keep the stats.
I'll
Come
hate
on.
that
Keep them
segment.
coming, bro. I
He'll
love
bring it.
it.
He'll bring it tomorrow. I bet he.
Keep them coming every day.
Bet he
Bring
brings one tomorrow. That's good.
I got a wild stat. Wild or not? We go wild or not. Switching gears, college football starts this weekend. Gonna bring on a guy you've probably heard his voice a lot, Brad Powers. I think one of the best guys out there in terms of like getting a grip on the games. Knowing a lot of things, been around for a long, long time. Kind of wanted to pick his brain a little bit. Brad, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you, man.
All right, yeah. So I guess we'll
Failed to mention your number one cheat code.
we'll start. Yeah, we'll start there, right? So you can hear me a little bit. There's been some speculation. How loud was trivia? How little of that did you hear when me and Ev used to call you in the different times for the phone a friend?
Yeah, I never had an issue. I mean, a lot of times I was actually in my vehicle, like in a parking lot outside a casino. But the only time I did have an issue was the live show. I struggled to hear you, to say the least. So I also got lucky. That was the only time I got lucky. Was with that answer. I think it was Tyler Wilson for Arkansas. But other than that, all good, man. Off the top of my head.
Yeah. Did you expect people to kind of find out who you were or the cult following of the dozen being tagged left and right and stuff like that?
You know, I obviously am aware of the Stoolies and the power of Barstool. I was not sure that it would be that much for a trivia show, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised at the amount of people that reached out, and we're thankful that I was able to get those right for you.
Have you got one?
Oh,
Yeah.
football.
Start touching. Yeah, we've got the weekend going. We're going to kind of pick your brain. I think this will be a weekly segment, so we'll kind of touch base on some different stuff. Small card this week, but as we get into it, we can kind of, have more to dive into. But for this week, kind of touch some big picture stuff as well. What do you got, Ev?
I want to ask you, Brad, about obviously team that's playing this week, USC. I was kind of down them last year, obviously with the defense. They get exposed a little bit. Utah and then the game against Tulane. Do you think the defense improved enough this year for them to be a real title contender?
Yeah, I think they're certainly better. The personnel is better. I mean, they brought in several transfers on that side of the ball. Anthony Lucas up front, Mason Cobb at linebacker. Recruiting's a little bit better than what it's been in past years under Clay Helton. They have to be better, to say the least, considering what happened to them down the stretch of the season. I do think it's better. I know a lot of people are pro USC because of the offensive side of the ball, led by the reigning defending Heisman Trophy winner in Caleb Williams. But I like both sides of the ball for them. I think last year they were a pretender. This year they're a legitimate contender. Now, do I trust them to beat a Georgia or a Michigan? I'm not there yet, but I do think USC deservedly is the Pac-12 favorite.
What do you make of USC this weekend? Because Marty is sitting to my left, and his thing early, and I feel like it's the public Joe. I've heard you kind of talk about this on different shows as well. Like, it seems like everybody loves USC with this big number. this week. First quarter, I like them first quarter. I do like their team total. What does San Jose State have that could potentially stop this, or does Lincoln Riley really like jacking up the numbers here?
I actually would lean with the big favorite here in USC, provided you could get it under 31. There's plenty of 30.5s available. I do think it's going to close. I mean, this is a hint for anybody that likes to get in front of line moves. It will close higher than 30.5. I lean that way, particularly because of the matchup, USC's offense against San Jose State's defense. I would say defensively, San Jose State lost their top 4 or 5 players on that side of the ball. A lot of question marks there. And I think in an isolated spotlight type of game, week 0, Lincoln Riley won't be afraid to really showcase and spotlight, Caleb Williams. And, I mean, you look at the weapons. I would argue running back, wide receiver core as good as anybody outside of Ohio State in the entire country. And I just think even the backups for USC will give San Jose State problems in the second half.
All right, Brett, I was glad you just mentioned Ohio State. I'm an Ohio State guy. Question for you. So I would say other than quarterback, obviously we don't know exactly who's going to start yet. What do you think's Ohio State's biggest X factor this year to get over the top, get over back over Michigan this year?
Well, I'm a little concerned with the offensive tackle position, the fact that they had to go out post-spring and get a couple of transfers from the group of 5 level, and I don't think they really were that great group of 5 players. I mean, that concerns me outside of quarterback. I think obviously defense needs to be better, but it has been better the last couple of years. I know a lot of people don't think that's the case, but a couple of years ago, I would say that Ohio State had their worst defense in school history. They were improved in year 1 under Knowles. I know it didn't show because everyone overreacts to what they saw last in the Michigan and Georgia games. I'm here to tell you, I follow recruiting. I follow Ohio State quite well because I'm from the state of Ohio. Their sophomore and junior defensive classes are as talented as any in the entire country. And I think that people are going to realize the pass rush is going to be elite this year. I think the secondary is improved. And linebackers very experienced. I think the defense is what gives the Buckeyes a chance to be right there in the mix when it comes to the national championship. And I'll say this, for everyone, the doom and gloom around Columbus because they lost to Michigan and Georgia in the last 2 games, this is a program that's a missed field goal away against Georgia from being the defending national champs. So I'm actually more optimistic than most when it comes to the Buckeyes this year.
On the opposite side of the Big Ten, in terms of value, and I like Wisconsin at 75-1. I think they can get a look. If Ohio State wins that side, which it sounds like you're leaning that way in the Michigan battle, they'll get a look at Ohio State in the regular season. They'll probably get a rematch in the Big Ten. I love the change with Fickell. I love the change with Mordecai. Still got the big beefy guys up front. A lot of guys returning from the offensive line. They'll be able to run the rock. Stability on defense. In terms of classifying that future, like if you're looking for crazy odds, is Wisconsin a real sleeper at 75-1? Can they get to 6-7-0 and people all of a sudden are putting them at 20, 25?
Yes, I mean, certainly I like the schedule for Wisconsin this year. I mean, outside of the game against Ohio State, which they do get at home, and they're catching the Buckeyes off a big game against Penn State, they should be favored in 11 of their 12 games. So certainly the opportunity is there. I think they deservedly are the favorites in the West Division. So you're talking about a team that will be in the mix in the Big Ten championship game. I do still have issues. This is year 1 under Fickell. They're completely changing the offense. They're going to throw it a lot more. I'm not a huge Tanner Mordecai fan, even though he's got a ton of experience. They got some what we call in the industry cluster injuries at tight end. They're down like 4 tight ends already, so that concerns me a little bit. But certainly, I think, if you get the right price on them, I think, Rico, you'll make a lot more worse bets this season. I'll put it that way.
Thanks a lot, Brad. You've clearly followed the show. Always good to mix it up with you. Ev, you got one more?
Yeah, I would say a team I've been high on. I've seen kind of this team a little. I've seen this team, people be all over the place in them. How do you feel about LSU this year?
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, I think they're, bigger, stronger, faster, and deeper than what last year's team was that ended up winning the SEC West. So what does that make them? It makes them national title contenders? Maybe, but, I also think they got some breaks last year. I mean, what's the thought process and the whole narrative around LSU if they dropped a 2-point conversion against Alabama and they lose that game instead of winning it? They also, won a fortunate game against Auburn where they were trailing the whole game. After the Alabama win, they got a lucky break with Arkansas's quarterback not playing, KJ Jefferson. So They were fortunate to get the 10 wins. They might not need that fortune this year, being a better team. But the good thing with LSU is we're going to find out immediately. That opening Sunday night game against Florida State is one of the better games of the entire season. Forget just week one. I actually like Florida State in that game. So I guess I'm selling LSU on that front.
You know, it's funny. Brad talks about making bad bets. The famous Marshall one against Rice, big units. He was on Rice when Marshall lost outright. So that goes to show you who's smart in these kind of discussions. Two quick ones here to kind of close it out. So we're dumb, and I think a lot of people, you know, we talk again of the public Joe and overreact to different headlines and injuries and stuff like that. But the one thing that's kind of jumping out, the clock change, not stopping the clock anymore here unless it's 2 minutes in the halves on first downs. Is that automatic? I feel like everybody's then all of a sudden. How do you feel like that's going to affect totals?
I got it worth about 2.5 points. So, I mean, that's pretty significant. If you don't believe me, you know, give yourself 2.5 points on every game and see what your end-of-season record is. It's going to be pretty good. You're going to be a rich person by the end of the year. But I think it's pretty much factored into a lot of these totals. Now, the last couple of years, week 0, week 1, have trended under. But I just think that narrative is so out there right now where you're even getting Joe Q Public wanting to bet the under. And, man, when they line up and want to bet unders, I kind of like to go the other way. So it's always price dependent for me, but I have found myself betting just as many overs as unders so far in week 0, week 1. I'll give you one. Everybody wants picks.
Everybody wants to pick. Yeah, that was the second question.
Yeah, Navy Notre Dame out of the chute. I actually like the over in that game, over 49. I know it's supposed to rain and everything, but I just think Notre Dame unlike last year, keeps the foot on the gas pedal. So give me over 49.
Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, we're going to have some different spots, you know, teams coming out of situations, look-aheads, things like that. So we'll pick your brain every Thursday as we go into the season. Appreciate you jumping on, and best of luck. If you want, I'll just give you all mine. You could go opposite. I think you'll turn out like 60-75% if you're open to that. I'll help you out, you know. But so always good to talk to you, man, and you know, don't lose that number for the phone of friends.
I won't.
And Kirk said your ring's coming, by the way. He said you're getting a ring.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering when that was going to
We'll get it. I'll talk to the skip. We'll get your ring.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Brad.
Appreciate you, Brad.
Take it easy, buddy.
Yep.
All right. Brad Powers. Yeah, we got week 1 as it's coming up.
What's the spread in that Navy game?
20.5.
20.5, yeah.
I like Navy.
Notre Dame's quarterback, Sam Hartman, a quarterback, huge upgrade. Big time. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. Not going to be playing from that at Wake Forest for the last like 3-4 years. I think they should be good. They're definitely better than last year, I think, for sure.
I thought there was a little bit of culture change over in Notre Dame a little bit, though. As much as they love Freeman, then some guys left. Like, it's not – they still like him, and he still might be the guy, but it seemed like, you know, this wonderful marriage. There was some problems coming up pretty kind of quick.
Well, they lost early.
No.
But I'm saying –
guys in the offseason,
No,
losing guys on staff. Like, it didn't seem like everything's going hunky-dory at Notre Dame.
Because I felt
from the stuff I'm reading little by little.
I felt like who'd they lose? Was it
I thought a couple of transfers.
Didn't they lose to Marshall? That was who they lost. Didn't they lose?
They did lose to Marshall.
Because they lost us in a kind of a weird game. That was like we both kind of played shitty. They lose to Marshall. But then at the end of the year they came on strong and they're
a very good team.
They played well down the stretch.
And
they lost to Stanford.
Yeah, the video of Freeman when Freeman got announced, the locker room erupted. Like they were going to bat. We want Freeman. We want Freeman. We want Freeman. He's still a young coach. Not a lot of games under his
in his 30s,
belt as well.
30s.
So I think they'll be okay. They'll be fine. I just worry a little bit about what I'm reading about the culture. I think Navy kind of sticks in it early.
I respect Brad. There is nothing less I want to do is watch a rainy game in Ireland and Navy with Navy.
I'm telling you, that's how you know he's sharp.
No, I know. And
who says that? Who makes that pick?
It's like the worst idea of a Saturday is watching them slip all over the place and Navy run the triple option and me just being like, fuck.
Wasn't Northwestern in Ireland last year?
Yeah, Northwestern, Nebraska.
Yeah.
So Navy is also mixing in a little bit more pass.
Yes.
To the game.
And what is that? 3 more? Like what's
I think
truly. When they run a little bit more of like an open, they're a little more like Air Force than they are like Army, where they they throw the ball legitimately.
They're gonna have a short passing game, from what I'm reading. Like when you look at that strategy,
Like the first game when it's raining in Ireland, that's when they're gonna start this.
bust it
Like,
out.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's
Like
go. Bust it out.
Well, but they know like
If you get down 14 points with a triple option, you are dead.
they actually
Yeah.
played, they actually
So like you can't have that running offense.
they covered against Notre Dame last year. I'm pretty sure they played them pretty well last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was 35-32 last year. I
And-
think Notre Dame's running back, Audric Estime, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. He is a
Osteo.
fucking stud. I think that he could run the ball down Navy.
Their offense should be pretty
Brad's
good.
already fucking with me because I was so set on the under, and now I'm gonna take the
See, I'm
over.
gonna because I was thinking over because I feel like a lot of people were thinking.
I hope he gets hot because the chap. Then all of a sudden it's how it is. You go 1-0.
You think I'm gonna go against him the first week?
No.
No chance.
Can't.
No chance.
All you need to know.
All my opinions went out the window.
Marshall minus 20, Rice plus 20. That's all you need to know. I get all the.
I'm parlaying it's Notre Dame and the over.
Okay.
Some baseball news, minor, but the Mets are retiring Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden's numbers.
Awesome.
They won a championship, right?
I'm not happy about it, but
I don't really care about retiring numbers.
Why?
no, you don't care about history, Marty.
No, I
Druggies?
do.
But no, it's just I don't. I think you should be a Hall of Famer, or damn close to it, to get your number
Speaking of
retired.
Retiring, this is like the most.
I don't know.
NFL players retiring.
Here's where I stand with that with the Mets. The more and more we get away from 86 and not winning a championship, the
Yeah.
more you should sell. So like with the Knicks, that 94 team, how many guys would have been retired?
if they won it.
Ewing, obviously,
retired.
Starks, Oakley. No, Houston wasn't on that team.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, but 99.
Probably-
Yeah,
Wait,
it's-
Starks-
Houston's probably getting
Starks probably
retired.
does.
Starks 100%. He's a legend. He's part of a championship team. Like, look at what they did with the Rangers. Now they were probably the same year. They were probably Hall of Famers anyway, or retired. But it goes Graves, Leach, Messier. Like they extended. I wonder if Leach's number should have been retired. I don't know enough about hockey.
Leach's number's not retired.
Leach's number is retired at the
Oh,
Garden.
yeah.
Graves' number was retired. Like he was the third best guy at least on the team. You know, like to say that unless you're winning multiple championships, it's kind of a crazy thing. I think the further we get away, embrace the 86. Also, why the fuck did it take so long for Keith Hernandez to get his fucking number retired?
Well, that was the old rule: was you had to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, that
That was the old Mets rule.
I'm kind of agreeing
Who
with
are we to
Clemmer.
judge? We stink. We made the playoffs 2 times in a row once in our careers.
I'm kind of agreeing with Clemmer now. Wall of Fame is one thing. Number
Yes.
retired is
Team Hall of
a
Fame.
complete different thing.
Yeah, I would have. What are
There's
they?
only
put-
so many
put 'em in
numbers.
Team,
Right.
team or retiring the numbers?
Retiring the numbers.
I don't know.
They're already in the
maybe
Team
I'm
Hall of Fame.
backtracking.
They're already in the Team Hall of Fame. That's my issue. Is like Gooden and Strawberry were awesome players, but they're not. It should be a Hall of Famer. They already retired Jerry Kuzman's number, which is weird.
I think I'm backtracking on that.
Hernandez is different because he was also an announcer. I have no problem with
The
that.
reason why I say don't like I'm out on the retirement because the Yankees are just running out of numbers.
And the Yankees.
And it's
They are.
like I'm.
And that was the
sick of
one
it.
thing the Mets had over the Yankees was they didn't retire everyone's number.
Yeah, and
We
I
also
actually-
just had a disgusting
They
amount.
did
of
have a lot of
rings.
more talent.
You also retire guys that like numbers who shouldn't be
Give
retired.
me a
necessarily.
name.
Could say Don Mattingly. He's not a Hall of Famer. Should his number be retired?
Come on.
Huh?
Paul O'Neill. Did you guys retire his number?
Cheetah.
I think so.
He-
Cheetah.
Lou Gehrig.
I say you retired Paul O'Neill's number, but not Bernie Williams's, or is Bernie's retired too?
Ernie should be
We have
retired.
Yeah,
So
Bernie should be
many.
retired
So many.
over
It-
Paul.
I think
Many of his trash.
they almost started. I think we did retire Paul O'Neill's. I'm like pretty sure.
What do you guys think about letting newer guys wear the retired number?
I don't like that at all.
Put the pressure on it.
It's just
No.
more like I mean, if,
What if you had Shohei coming out of the fucking mic, like, be like, I'm not playing unless I get
I would-
3. All right, guess what? You got Babe Ruth.
bro,
There
I
you
would
go.
throw a fit if someone wore number 2. I'd throw a fit. I literally would cry.
Just
No one should
I
have a way.
don't know. I kind of like
the whole purpose.
I like a little bit of the pressure. I like a little bit of
But
like.
the purpose. There's just too many numbers. We're gonna have awful numbers on the team at one point.
Don't you have 1 through 10? Pretty much everybody.
No, not it is everybody.
It is. It's
Yeah.
1 through 10,
1 through
right?
10 is
There's no
gone.
single digits left, right?
No.
Gone.
Gone.
Crazy.
And 2 guys wore 8. 2 different guys, Bill
Yeah.
Dickey and Yogi Berra.
Yeah. Crazy. Let's get to the picks. Marty, what do you got?
I have the Yankees -1.5. I was gonna real quick the retiring stuff. I've seen so many like names that I've known in the NFL just retire in training camp this year. Like Corey Davis retired yesterday. Miles Jack retired. Like it's
Jack
like
retired?
yeah, like there's just some names you're like, oh,
Wasn't
fuck.
getting picked up by anybody. He came into Eagles camp and like knew he was going to lose his job. It was just like, okay.
Corey Davis, though.
Corey Davis was signed for this year. He
Isn't
didn't.
Corey Davis recently drafted? Not recently.
No,
17?
6 years in the league, 2 with the Jets.
He's 28 years old.
That's pretty.
was-
that's
he was a-
young.
He was going to
Top
make
five
$10 million
pick.
this year.
Oh, I know.
He's just like, nope.
No, I think there's something deeper happening within his family that people are talking about. So, like to
okay.
walk, like Clemmer's saying, to walk away from $10 million this year, like there's obviously something
Yeah.
deeper going
Doesn't he
on.
also made like
Yeah.
$58 million?
Well, he was the number I think 5 pick in the draft, so he made money from.
And then he signed a huge deal with the Jets.
He was on that Western Michigan. He was on that Western Michigan team that beat
Yes.
Wisconsin in the bowl game. They were very good.
I
Astros money line and the White Sox A's over 9.5 tonight.
think I'm just going with the Marty. You got the Yankees 1.5.
Yeah.
I'm just going with the Dodgers on the road against Cleveland. I'll trust the Dodgers. That's not the heaviest price to lay to me. 130. Smitty, what do you got?
Yeah, 9-game losing streak, and the one last night. I think this is the time where the Yankees start to cock tease a little bit, going a little
Get back
run
in it.
before not being able to do anything.
Clemmer.
They might win.
I'm going the other way. Patrick Corbin is the ERA of like 2.5 in August, the last 3 starts. So I like
He was
that.
the worst
He's
pitcher
the
of all
I know,
time.
and
All
he's
time.
still not having a great year, but he's just been really good lately. And then Pablo Lopez for the Twins, he hasn't allowed a run in 3 starts.
Yeah, he's
So I'll just keep riding that.
Interesting. Let's tie it up with this. Jonathan Taylor, what are the best landing spots?
Eagles.
Miami.
Eagles. You can have 9 running backs?
Yeah,
Listen,
Money
I'm
Miami.
there are rumors.
They're like aggressively going.
yeah,
after
there
him.
are rumors that Howie's like has a hard
Yeah.
one for
You
Jonathan
don't want
Taylor.
him.
Look, it's a
What do you
it's
do
a,
with
it's a
all the
new
other guys?
It's
What
a
do you
new
do with all the
fancy
other guys?
toy just to add into the
You don't want
chest.
because then it's
but
that's
still have
super
Boston
team.
in that
That's a
running
super
back?
Yeah, they have
Boston's
5
got
running
Kent
backs right
Gainwell.
now. They have Gainwell, they have Rashad Penny, they have DeAndre Swift, they have Boston Scott, and they have Trey Sermon. Now, one of them is probably
Real
going to be
names.
practice squatted, probably Trey Sermon, who's had a great preseason. But, hey, man, if I trust Howie now. If you want to go get Jonathan Taylor, I think one of those guys is going to have to be part of that package, probably Gainwell, who Steichen loved as the offensive coordinator in Philly. Well, you want to add him? Sure. Why
gonna
not?
go
I think if the Dolphins could grab him too, I just thinking that like Mike McDaniel,
Dolphins
Kyle
make the
Shanahan
most
offense.
sense. They
Yeah.
make
What?
the most sense.
They do.
Dolphins.
I
You know how
also
many shirts we're going to sell with the Taylor Swift backfield?
Taylor Swift would do fantastic.
wow,
shit.
Smitty,
It's good.
content brain.
And it's PA. She's from PA.
She's from PA.
I
Played down the shore.
Hometown.
Sang on the Stone Harbor streets.
I think that the
LBI.
Colts. I think the Colts were fucking with the Patriots because I think that the Patriots were kind of waiting to see what Dalvin Cook was doing to sign. So he went to the Jets. So they signed Zeke, being like, all right, we'll sign him to a cheap deal. Patriots were initially interested in Jonathan Taylor. I kind of am buying myself into that they were fucking with the Patriots.
Everyone just needs to know. Viewers, because Dukes is new, he's a Patriots fan. Makes somehow the Patriots are getting fucked by the Colts.
I mean, the AFC rival. I
Well,
mean, like,
let
it's
me
not
ask
like
you this.
Duke's mind. Patriots
Deflategate,
everything.
Marty, Deflategate and everything. I mean, I don't think it's like that
Deflategate,
crazy.
How
of a
cheap
take.
did they get Zeke?
$6 million for 1 year?
That's incentive, like
Yeah,
incentive
based. Patriots do a lot of incentive based. I mean, I like Zeke on that contract, but I'm just saying that, like,
Yeah, but-
to make Jonathan Taylor available now.
Zeke is not even close to the best running back on that staff. I mean,
Oh no,
Stevenson's gonna be-
I'm not saying that, but Zeke will be like a goal line running back.
Yeah.
The biggest Patriots issue is the offensive line.
But if they didn't go with Zeke,
and quarterback.
would
Culture.
And yeah, and
Debate.
would
Fans.
Taylor work on the Patriots because
Yeah.
it takes a lot of pressure off Mac Jones? Because I don't know if Mac Jones is there yet.
That offensive line too.
And I know it's
I mean,
you know
the
in
line.
this type of league you don't want to go ground and pound but if you can do it,
I mean, he
and
would've
you got a
been-
good
the
defense.
Patriots-
He might.
He would have been fine, but if you think Bill Belichick's giving him a first-round pick for a running back,
Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
he's definitely not. He's
crazy.
definitely
That
not.
was never going to happen.
He's definitely
you-
not.
you
But in
think- you
terms
think
of
the Colts
fit,
are going to be able to
fits.
get a first
They're
round
not
pick
getting a
from
first
anybody?
round, yeah.
They're not going to
I
be.
think a
Yeah.
second they could.
Second, yeah.
at best.
He doesn't want to be there, so I think the bluff. It's like you're watching the money. The money's burning in their pocket. The longer they keep
but-
going, no, first round, first. After a while, you're like, all right, you know what? That money's going to disintegrate. So you call me back when you want to get on rational terms here, because we're not doing a first round.
He'll play for the Colts. He'll play no matter what. Still, I know he doesn't want to be there, but he'll still play.
He'll still play.
Yeah, he won't.
I thought he was
he's
gonna
not gonna
hold
wanna
out.
Get fined
I think
that much.
they're going to trade him with somebody. I don't think he plays.
Do you think he'd work on the Dolphins, like with that offensive line?
Yeah, I do.
I think
Because is
if
he
you
one of
could
those
put
running backs that
together-
needs a good offensive line? I don't know.
I think anywhere you can put together an explosive type of offense, you got him, you got the 2 wide receivers, you got
Yeah.
2 emerging. Like all of a sudden, it's an all-star cast.
Almost like it's a great fit for the Eagles.
I was just gonna say
no,
that.
it's too crowded
He's
back
got 5
there.
running backs.
Too crowded.
We don't-
The
hey,
thing-
we
the
can
thing
make
with
some
the Eagles
room. We
is-
can make some room.
They-
You
they
don't
have
think
no
they
one-
can cut Rashad Penny like that.
That's
Oh,
all. They have
from
no,
San Diego State legend.
Yeah, so is Donald Pumphrey.
Yeah, Donald Pumphrey's great.
they have no investments in these guys financially.
Fuck the
They
Eagles.
traded a 7th-round pick for Swift. They paid all these guys combined ham sandwich.
Is there anybody else where he fits? Does he go to the
You think
Jets
there's a
and they
bunch
run
of-
Wishbone? They run Wishbone?
Who else would be like a suitor? Maybe like the. See, it's just tough to think who would want to give up that much capital, because only good teams are gonna give up capital. Like they think they can win right now.
Yeah.
about the
Didn't the Ravens had a lot of
Bills?
issues at running
Bills,
back?
The Bills are loving their new.
They have James Cook,
Yeah, they're
Damian Harris. They have
Didn't the,
now.
Ra-
Like,
didn't
they
the
have-
Ravens
Bad
use
fit, though, Marty.
every running back last year before the preseason?
They're about to pay Dobbins. They're saying a little bit at least.
logically you can fit on any team. I mean, you can
Yeah,
go.
but-
Yeah, it's
If
just
you're a
like-
bad team like the Patriots, you're not going to go and make that move, right,
Yeah.
Dukes?
We didn't talk about this. Trey Lance is just like the most paid third-string quarterback ever.
How about that stat?
Arnold beat him out?
Yeah.
Or is going to beat him out?
Geno Smith threw more passes last year than Trey Lance has ever thrown in a game setting. High school on.
Yep, in his life.
Well, he only played like 1 year of college. Right?
Yeah, that's incredible.
All right, hold on. Geno Smith threw more passes
Last
season.
He's thrown in college and the pros combined.
And high school.
In high school.
And high school.
In high school.
How did that?
And he was drafted third overall.
What was the thing with high school? He only played 1 year?
No,
What am I
think
missing?
it was. I think he
He
played
played like 2 years.
2 years.
But
In the NFL, they're throwing the ball a ton, 17 games.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
It was like, what was it, like 600 something?
yeah, it was
how
like-
many years
I'll
did
get
he
it.
have lights out at North Dakota State?
1. He threw a hit up. He
He
threw,
didn't play his senior
yeah,
year.
and then it was a COVID year. They
Or his
played.
other
They
year.
played 1 showcase game.
Plus high school, he was probably running a lot.
That's why these GMs, man, they just.
Do you want the stats?
Sometimes
quickly?
they think
Shanahan
It's like John Lynch has only missed though.
I
It's a huge
know, but
miss.
they, like you look.
could add Fields.
I don't know.
Is he not good? Is that what we're saying?
Yes, he's not good. Brock
I don't think
Taylor,
he's
He
there.
was bad and he got hurt.
he's getting paid like $13 million or something this year.
What do they? Would anyone want him?
You take
No.
a quarterback.
Someone would
I'm
have
hearing
to
the
go
Viking.
overall.
I'm hearing the Vikings
Like
might trade for him
like
for
a
as a backup.
reclamation project kind
Yeah,
of.
and then maybe fill in for Cousins next year when Cousins he's a free agent, right?
Dukes has got the stats.
I got the stat. High school 999, college 318, NFL preseason 72, regular season 102. So Geno Smith threw 607 last year. In his entire life, or I mean not Pop Warner, but 591 for Trey Lance. 607 to 591.
What?
That's crazy.
Wow, that's wild.
I want to hear his Pop Warner numbers.
Crazy.
Probably incredible.
Those Conestoga Generals
And
numbers.
then the 49ers.
He probably ran all over the field.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
Pee-wee player.
49ers
Best.
starting quarterback has a contract for 4 years, $3.7 million, $77,000 guaranteed. That's
He
his
was the
contract.
Oh, I know.
But $77,000
Guaranteed.
guaranteed is insane. So last year he made.
He's a
Last year he made
school
like
teacher in
800,000.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
You think school teachers are making $77K, especially in Wisconsin?
Not in this economy.
Did they take away all the school teachers' rights in Wisconsin?
Yeah, DT.
Yeah.
DT will bring him back.
Do you think that the 49ers will pull Purdy quick, or do you think he has a long leash?
I think relatively long leash. Long-ish leash.
Just because he's come back from injury, it was 1 year,
They've
not
just
even a
been
full
so
year.
adamant that he's the guy. Like they've been very.
I don't
they
know if you
have
want
to.
to.
I
I don't
think
think
they
you want to
have to.
fuck with the room. You don't want to fuck with the guy.
If it's week 4 and he stinks,
Sam Darnold's coming in. I think so.
I think he'd have to play pretty shitty.
I think it's
He-
6.
He's just in
at
such a
least.
spot
And-
to succeed.
And they're a good team. I think even if he plays shitty, it's probably still going to be like, all right, well, he's winning. Let's right the ship.
They're
Let's
2 and 4.
pat his butt. Let's go.
Shanahan's been blowing him so much, he's going to have to give away games.
He played really well last year.
Very well.
100%.
He played really well.
100%.
Even the playoff game against the Cowboys, he played like he had some errant throws, but he played pretty well. I mean,
But again, that's he didn't start the year. It was 1 year, and you don't know. Like I'm just saying, if he does start off like he has more expectations, he had no expectations, 0. If he won 3 games last year, it'd be like good for him. But he killed it this year. If he starts off 2 and 4, and like those losses are on him, Sam Darnold's.
sure. But I just think the team is so good. I agree with you.
get it.
I get the theory that
I'm just-
he would have to play so badly for them to be in my. to go.
And judging how he played last year, I don't see that regression.
I don't see like it's. I think it's almost hard for that team to regress.
The offensive line is phenomenal. The run game is phenomenal. He's got good receivers to throw to. He's got a very good play caller.
The defense is put them in
elite.
great positions.
Oh, absolutely
Not
elite.
have to win games.
All I was trying to get to, I think Sam Darnold would be sick.
I don't think there'd be a big.
That's perfect, Jets.
Is
Yeah.
Sam Darnold your
Imagine
Baker
Sam
Mayfield
Darnold
this year, Marty?
Sam Darnold hoisting a Lombardi.
Baker Mayfield's my baby.
Perfect Jets.
Sam Darnold Super Bowl MVP.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be upset. I like the guy, so I wouldn't be like all
You
angry.
had a
about it.
bad.
How about this?
We got Aaron Rodgers.
NFC Championship game. Seahawks versus 49ers. Jets don't even make it.
Oh my
Jets finished
God.
third in that division.
Why you do this to me?
That's
you
a
don't
possibility.
you don't think that history matters, and it does.
I think history
Definitely does.
matters. It doesn't have any relevance to the future. If that makes any sense.
Zach Wilson gets cut, gets picked up by the Browns. Sean Watson gets hurt.
Just because they wear a shirt that says Jets doesn't mean they're going to be bad forever.
Mark Sanchez goes on to be the lead guy at Fox. Just everything.
Mark Sanchez is the offensive coordinator.
I thought Sanchez got a raw deal, but
He's stunk.
I have a take as a Patriots fan that no quarterback.
No, the defense brought us to 2 AFC championships.
Yeah.
he did
He's the
enough.
scariest
and
quarterback
then
of
they
all time.
brought in
Run game,
Tebow.
that was-
They kept bringing in Tebow. Like, you're going to lose your job. We're going to squeeze you out. It fucks people up. Let me tell you.
Tebow also made the bad call where at the time they basically gave him the option that like he was Jags or the Jets, and he chose the Jets. That was stupid as fuck.
Yeah, he should have picked.
He should. Why would he not?
I thought they fucked with Sanchez.
He should have chose.
That's what it is.
I mean, they make him a punt protector. Like, I was like, what do you like? What's the point?
Stupid. But yeah, that's Pick Central. Barstool Radio up next. We'll see you tomorrow. Friday
Tomorrow,
football.
week
Football
zero
Friday.
plays,
Week
baby.
0 football Friday.
I will have week 0 picks tomorrow.
think
Rico will as well. I'm sure.
Smitty and Clemmer will be doing an Oklahoma drill to end the show tomorrow. We'll spoil it.
Smitty's like, okay.